Ooh, spooky, creepy. This is jump and shoot in that order, and uh, it turns out there actually is a haunted house. So I got some new guys. I have Fungus, who's gonna become a big duck. He can use speed send. I don't know how useful that is in that game. This is not really such a thing as horde battles. And Kronk evolved, and Skarmory is just there for fly. I still need like a water type or an electric type because I still can get destroyed by flying types because this guy's weak, this guy's neutral, this guy is weak, and that guy's neutral. And my answer to them also it just like takes too much damage from them. So I need like an electric type or ice type or rock type or something. So yeah. Follow up to the G4 rant. A repost effect rough. Not really a rant, but just like a personal opinion slash recap of what like happened. So after everybody got fired or laid off or whatever you want to say, I was like, damn, what are these guys gonna do now? But then a new channel popped up like that week, or this week I should say. The Cream Team, which is like Fiona, Case, who also hosted with her. So can you not like get this? Who also hosted with her during the feedback, which they've now rebranded as the back feed, and I like that. Oh shit! The house layout changed. Everything just changed. His molecules got all rearranged. Any phantom. The Ghost Girl. An everlasting dark dream, an endless dream of darkness. Dad, Mom, Aber, where are you? Spooky skeletons send shivers down your spine. And they got their own thing going on, and I dig that. And they've had, I guess this is what they're doing. They're just like rebranding like their own shit. They're talking about how they have to return a lot of G4's equipment, and like what they're doing, and they're just kind of like updating each other on how it's been, how the week's been for them. Some of them have like are really going through it. Because well, I'm thinking about like what they do after working with G4. Because I don't know what Kevin Pereira went to go do afterwards, but like I know that Morgan Webb went on to do like modeling or something, and then Olivia Munn went on to do the Daily Show with Jon Stewart. So I don't know. Maybe this is like the next chapter for them after working with after being with G4's revival. Which, first of all, this could be a better move for them, like being independent, and because like they've got established personalities already, so now they can detach themselves from like the revival of G4, which I'm pretty sure most people weren't either aware or happy with to begin with. And I want to double back on what I said in the previous episode, where I said like it's not the fault of independent creators, which is why they failed, but it is, but in an indirect sense. Because, like, when they just started up like that, there was no way they were going to reach the numbers of, like, your average YouTuber who just does, like, retrospective content, like, or just reviews weird shit, like Brutal Moots or Space Hamster or any of those weird Normal Boots guys. I say weird Normal Boots guys, but, they're all just, like, dudes with Shaggy vibes. Like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Like, they're all just like, well, I've got facial hair, brown hair, and I'm white, and I wear, like, slacks. And that's pretty much it. So why can't this higher level thing with Psychic just kill Golbat? This guy sucks. this goth femboy right here kind of sucks. Oh, and it's even got the like the beneficial special attack nature. It's like, oh my god. Maybe it's just too weak to do anything, even at a second stage. Yeah, maybe this is better for them that they're not like being tied down to being the face of New G4, or they have like a reputation to uphold, and you know, they have to. They pretty much did like the stepdad, or the step parents that is trying to say that I'm not trying to replace your parent. I'm just trying to be a new parent. And everyone's just being a little baby about it. Like, where's Kevin? Where's Olivia Munn? Where's Adam's sister? Where's Mark and Webb? I mean, Adam was there. But, people didn't like how he also went on similar rants. Not, like, pretty much, like, more vocal than Roscoe did. But, yeah, and I remember not liking his take on Metroid Dread. So I was like, I don't want to watch New X play. So that's where I was at with him. So what the fuck, dude? Where am I supposed to go? Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Oh, fuck. So yeah. And I'm watching their new videos, which are just like media podcasts where they just talk about random news articles that they read, and they put in their own humorous spin on it, and I appreciate that. They're still getting their guest stars, which are just like old members of G4, and the main one that I want to talk about is like the one where they got a lot of the old casts for this one, where they got Kasim, Gina, Gerard. They haven't got Will Neff on yet, but they're Austin at all, but like, or I don't know what his fucking real name is. Is it Xavier Woods or is it Austin Creed? Which one is the show name? Which one is the real guy name? But he has wrestling he can still go back on. Whereas like everybody else just kind of like streams with their new audience, and that's kind of it. I don't know how this like house progresses. All I did was I ran around back and forth, got the item, and now the room's changed or whatever. Or maybe I'm not paying attention to what's going on, but yeah, I was watching that one with all the cast in there, and they were talking about how it's been for them, what they're doing. Like they're just kind of recovering after the news, because they've all found out the same way. They all found out through a tweet on social media, or like text, or just the most informal way possible you could be let go from somewhere. It's like, oh, I guess we're not coming into work this week because we're fucking laid off. And they went into more about like how this happened, or like Comcast who ran them. I guess they were also aired on Peacock, which I thought was NBC, or is it NBC Peacock? I don't remember. But either way, across the YouTube channel and the television channel or the stream channel or whatever, they were not getting numbers that they wanted to see. They were not matching the revenue of like most YouTubers. They were not just hitting what they needed, because it is the same thing. Like, whether you're on TV, you need like people tuning in, whereas on the internet you need people clicking and liking and subscribing and views and all that shit. Like, they just weren't getting it, and it was just like, damn. Little girl. In a dark dream, I heard my dad's voice. Forget about the lunar wing. Please stay here with me. I wish there were more, just kind of like, I wish there was more content like this in your average Pokemon game, where like you go to a town, there's like a little arc mystery to solve in there, and you explore a haunted house in this case, or you explore like a cave, and there's like people. I need to stop saying like. And there's stuff to do that isn't part of like getting the badge, becoming the champion. But you're now in this like little mini narrative. Why the fuck would I ever give you Pulse? You're in this little mini narrative and you're solving this thing. It's kind of like a dungeon, or you're doing something. It's the Lunar Wing, and this also expands on like Pokemon lore, which is about. This one hints at stuff like with Darkrai and Cresselia, and they're all ghosts in like a dark dream hid under Darkrai possibly, but there's like nothing. It doesn't go that far. It's just this is where you get the Lunar Wing, I guess, and that's kind of it. But I wish there was more stuff like that. I wish they weren't afraid to go creepy too. I'm going on a tangent, I know. I'm talking about G4 this episode, but I'm also saying like what I wish Pokemon was. And I remember there was a girl in X and Y who I wish that was tied to something. Oh fuck, it's just a straight up Bannet. Bannet is still kind of booty in this game, but I do need it. So I'm going to Shadow Claw, and then I'm going to Shadow Ball. Bye-bye. And yeah, there's a girl in X and Y who's like, you chase her through this building, and then when you get there, she just goes through you and disappears. And it's like, I want that to be part of the game. Like, do like little mini narratives in a city that you solve, and not just like you visit the gym. Okay, anyway, rant over. And yeah, Gino's saying that she immediately started drinking. I was like, oh god. She's just went full alcoholic because of her not having anything to do. She didn't like, when you go through with being an entertainer, you just have faith that it will work. And you don't really think of a contingency plan, I'm assuming. So when you're gone, it's just like, well, fuck. That sucks. Yeah, they're all still kind of recovering. Like, this happened at the midpoint of October. So was that it? Was that all I had to do in there? I wonder if Grumpig is better. So, Grumpig and Gothitelle are the same, except Gothitelle has more defense. They both have base 90 special attack and 110 special defense, so they're like, and they both have shitty HP, so what are you gonna do? Yeah, and Gerard, it sounded like he was going through it. He still has his channel and what he does. I don't know what Kasim's doing. It's just nice to hear them all going through it together. Even if, whether you like them or not, there's still people who try to entertain and like it didn't work out, and they're making it known that like, hey, I mean, we're unemployed, so we're just giving our experience here. And you know, like, they're going into what happened at G4 and like how much there was a lot of overspending budget, and that's why they had to get like sponsors from Pizza Hut and the U.S. Army or whatever the hell. I thought it was weird that they were inviting what's it called? What was it? The Navy gaming squad. There's a Navy. There's a U.S. Army like esports team. I was like, why does the U.S. Army have an esports team? I mean, it would be nice if we fought wars with the fucking esports teams. hey, Afghanistan or whoever's oppressing us, or China or Korea, like, yeah, I think we would lose to Korean esports teams. Just saying. But anyway, yeah. So that episode, they were just talking about the ins and outs of what happened and stuff, and shed a lot of light on what was going on there. Like, just slowly, people started to go. I noticed Vanessa never came back. They haven't brought her up yet, or what she's up to. But the next one I watched, it was an older one. Before I found out like they were still producing content, but it was like the first one or second one where they talked. They went through. They started to just Google themselves, and on YouTube, and or they looked themselves up on YouTube, and they they looked up a bunch of those like G4 takedown canceled videos. Or it's like, this is really necessary. But they were laughing their ass off at the thumbnails. Just like, one's from like the Quartering, which apparently is like a very right-leaning channel, a gaming network channel. Or they take any chance they get to just rip on like progressive media and just things they like to call woke and all that shit. So who's the problem here? Nobody's the problem. A lot of these guys are perfect in their own special way. In the way that okay, this guy needs some attention. He keeps getting sidelined. Yeah. They're laughing their ass off at these thumbnails and all these takedown videos, and I respect them a lot more for having a sense of humor about all this after the fact. Like, to look at people talking about you and not feel so sad about it, I respect that a lot. Like, cause all of these guys like to make these videos with like shitty headlines or video titles or clickbait, and you know, like that Quartering one, like G4 canceled. This is what happens when you go break. I'm like, shut the fuck up. And you know what? I have when I'm in the previous video where I talked about the Frost rant. I saw the Frost rant. I saw clips of it. So even there, I was like, when people were saying, this is Frost is like attacking G-Force fans. This is what you don't do. Blah 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 blah. It's like, okay, what she was saying wasn't wrong. I still think that this wasn't the place to do it. Maybe somewhere else, not on air, but it still needed to be said because she was. If anyone feels attacked, she's talking to them because those are the kind of people leaving shitty comments like, I hate when they fucking put their stupid literal politics in my video games. I hate like feminism, and I hate this and I hate that. Like, she's talking to those guys. Like, I was hearing this as a fan of New G4, and I can fucking differentiate who she was talking to and who she was not talking to. Like, I'm like, God. So, yeah, I got what she was saying. I understood. But whatever you want to say about it, it was the right thing to say. She was talking directly to those people, and they did exist. Like, I clicked on a few of those, and I was looking at the comments, and it's just like, man, I just hate when they do this shit. It's like, these are the kind of things, the exact comments that she was talking about. So it's not like it was coming from nowhere, you know. God, I need a water type. I can't put in anything. I have a crippling flying fire weakness right now. And it's not very good. Oh shit, it's belly drum. This really is challenge mode, you guys. But yeah, I like their their attitude about it. They're not just like looking at it going, "Oh God, they're criticizing us. What do we do? What do we do?" And you know, they work there, and everybody else is just talking out of their ass. They can actually give the full story and the right story. Everybody else is just writing headlines for clicks, and they have the actual proof of, like, what was going on. And you know what? I say that, but they do also say on camera, like, all of these people apparently know more than us because we work there. We don't know shit, and they didn't tell us anything. Okay, so maybe I take that back. But yeah, it's nice to hear their perspective on the whole situation. Like, but yeah, and they can only go up from here. Their resume is now good. They can say that they worked on a freaking internet TV show. They can be hosts if they want to. I was thinking, I'm pretty sure Chad Hardwick. Oh fuck, it's a Mungus. I'm pretty sure Chad Hardwick used to be part of some G4 show. I'm pretty sure he was on WebSoup. I don't know if that was on G4. But he was somewhere in like the tech kind of thing. But then he went on to do At Midnight, and I was like, I recognize him from G4. And then he became like a talk show host for that Walking Dead Aftermath. I don't know. I guess it was like the first version of those like recap podcasts that you would see from G4, where they would talk about like the Lord of the Rings show, Moon Knight, and She-Hulk, and those shows. Or they would do that like on camera. It was kind of like that, but it was on TV and about The Walking Dead. So he pretty much went on to do that. So they can all do whatever they want pretty much now. Yeah, maybe I'm saying this again, but maybe being the face of like a revival where nobody was aware or happy of it to begin with. I don't know. They might be better personalities in a different space, where now they can go on to be like independent, get their own fan base going from just being themselves and not like part of a network where they have to say scripted stuff. That's why I kind of like their podcasts more, because their personalities come out a lot more, and they're not on a script reading somebody else's jokes. Like, they're reading the prompts on Attack of the Show, and it's just like lines fed to them. But and they're still very casual about it. They're like, "Oh, I didn't see because the teleprompt went up too fast, so I'm making my own joke." They do stuff like that. It's funny. I dig it. I'm glad they're figuring things out. I don't know. And they're just recording these podcasts like inside their somebody else's like studio apartment. Like that is how people start. Like independent like video creators, that is how they start, you know? They're doing what most people do, and they get to where they are regardless, because whatever the personality, the kind of content they make, etc. And you know, those people get big by talking about something specific, or you know, they do a lot of retrospectives. Like, oh man, I remember this game, Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. It was a weird game, but I think it was cool. And then they go on to talk about, like, I don't know, Chibi Robo or Earthbound or some other dumb video game. And they get like millions of views on the video, and they build up a subscriber base. Like, that's all they need to do. They tried to come out the gate just being maybe they tried to come out the gate with the name G4 and hoping nostalgic people will come back to watch it, but a lot of people were just unaware that it was back at all because they're too busy watching everybody else. And I get that too. Oh my god, I need like a powerhouse that can just wipe these guys out. I guess I am a little bit under leveled, but even my stab super effective stuff isn't doing the trick anymore. And this guy would surely be dead if it wasn't for the Eviolite. But yeah, I think they could come back pretty good this way. But yeah, it seems like they're all just streaming stuff now, so I don't know. They have their own fans. Everybody has their own individual fan base, and that's fine. Oh, fuck off. You know something? Kevin Pereira is... I didn't realize this, but he is full-on tech bro. Like, he thinks NFTs were cool. He thought AI art was cool. He thought, like... Or maybe it's just like the photo version of that, not like the art version of that. Or maybe he probably thinks it's cool too. He thinks like the blockchain and all that crap is cool. And early on, he was getting a lot of shit for that, even when he was like the temporary host of Attack of the Show, because that was like the main thing people were upset about. And he kept like being like, NFTs are kind of really cool, guys, and you drop hundreds or hundreds of money, lots of money for, you know, kind of nothing. he wasn't making his case very well, other than just saying it's cool in my HO. So yeah, and yeah, he's doing like a weird voice changer streams. I don't really know what he's doing. He's like apartment hopping or something. I don't know what's going on. But they seem okay for the most part. And he already planned to retire anyway, so I think he's got it made. So yeah, I'm happy for the Cream team. I'll be watching their content in the future. And that is all I have to comment on at this time. First, I gotta get rid of this fucking pig. Fucking pigs. It's the motherfucking G.